All right, did I set this up correctly? I did! Look at me, I'm awesome. It's so very rare that I set this up correctly. I have one piece of housekeeping I need to do before I can begin, which is to remind the entire guild that they have to do their TB stuff. So let's do that. That'll mess up my game. Morning, guys. Daniel, yes, I am late. I know. I apologize. We decided, which you may have seen in our Game Horror channel, we decided to do some stuff for LA, so I was busy setting up the charity sponsorship for LA Relief. And I was trying to get that done before 7:30, but it didn't happen. I was just a lot of crazy little things. Had to figure out how to screencast from my phone to the PC because the iPhones make that difficult now. It was a whole thing. Nena, good morning. M3, man, I actually took it. I did. I got my pill. I had it before you came in, before I started the stream. Aren't you proud of me? This is maybe the second time ever that I have remembered. And it's it's nice to remember. Let's see, it looks like a lot of people actually did their shit already, which is super cool. We're going to have an easy morning, which is nice. Lower this a little bit. Well, I'm not going to say improving because I have on occasion done it, remembered, and then again forgotten promptly afterwards. So we'll see. We will see. Oh, man. Let's see. I think I'm connected to my phone and not to my computer because I want to hear sound today. So give me a second to connect to my computer. Come on, connecting. You'd think I'd have all this stuff ready. I don't because I'm not a professional. We can get this. Get that in there. There we go. Beautiful. All right, we are good to go. We are ready. We are able. It looks like my guild is doing pretty good today in TB. We're going to hit our 41 goal. I was really hoping that we would hit 42, but it seems like we actually had somebody quit the game without telling us, without giving us any notice. That hasn't happened in years. Usually people are nice enough to say, hey, I don't want to play anymore. Can you just give me can you find something in a couple days? But that did not happen here, which is unfortunate. So now we have to figure out the coverage on that. We're otherwise looking pretty good to at least hit our 41. You know what? The first couple times we did Zepho, Nena, it was hit or miss. The first couple times it's hard. It really is. So, and we actually regressed over the holidays and the one event previous to the holidays. We were hitting 40, 39. So we're back to our 41, but we also have the Vandor goal. Vandor, I don't know. Goal, which is new, and we're starting to hit the operations for that, though we only have enough for 2 right now. So if there's anyone in the like 11.5 range that's looking for a new guild, I have a slot open as of right now. Is it past 8? No, we have 6 minutes until I can buy shit. All right. we might as well start, right? Let's do it. What time is it? 10:39. Let's just say 11 for good measure. We're going to start with our fleets. We'll go Mandalore first. See how Leviathan does. This is like an 80% chance, usually. About 80% chance of win on auto. Sometimes you just get the wrong RNG. Hey, Vash. I see you're back to see your side piece. That's right. Remember it. I may be a side piece, but you keep coming back. Vash, actually, I started playing multiplayer, the Sons of the Forest yesterday with Moonborn. We try to do a game night like once a month. It's really hard because he's in Germany. But, you know, I thought of you while we were playing. I was like, oh, we should get Vash involved with this too. But again, it's really like once a month that we get to play. And of course, in true Egnard's fashion, even though I don't have the rope gun in my main save, I found it pretty quickly in the save that I started yesterday with him. Oh, that implies that there are other side pieces. Nice. That's one way to knock me down a peg. Egg, you're not special. Actually, it made exploring caves so much easier because I was not scared shitless with somebody else there. But there were a couple jumps, and because we didn't have a lot of supplies and we were exploring caves, we did in the rope gun cave. He ran out of batteries on his flashlight, and I had like maybe the tiniest sliver of battery left, trying to get us through to the end of it. But we have a nice little base set up. It's good. I want to try to get more and do it a little bit more often. But we try to do it like once a month around like 2 p.m., 3 p.m. EST. Because that's like 8, 9 p.m. for him. Morning, Warlock. We're just getting through our TB. You know the drill. You've been here for brunch before. Vandor. We don't really need the points. We're gonna be fine on points. So I want to just try this on auto and see how it does, because we're gonna be good. Works, it works. It doesn't, it doesn't. We also have, well, we don't have, but the Broncos are playing today, and I really, like, I don't expect to win. So I really need everybody, like everybody, to get on the Broncos country and wish me some luck for the day. I feel like this could almost definitely do this not on auto. It's just that HT, like leaving that HT here is making it very tough for me to break through. But I definitely think that if this were not on auto, I could probably make this work. Nena, if you want to do the SM, you're going to want to mod DACA, because you're not going to use Talzin as the lead for the special mission. So I'll show you. And my DACA is R9 because I just recently took her to R9 for Vandor platoons. But you're going to use Old Bronco. You're going to use Old DACA lead for the extra health. And you are literally modding her full on for health. Like nothing else. All health. You obviously want speed too. Well, I guess I have a tenacity thing here, but that's fine. Because what's going to happen in the SM is the first round is super easy, and then the second round, the dash AoE, obliterates your team. So you really need Old DACA to have high health to kind of counteract that. You're going to use Talzin for lead for literally anything else, but you're going to use Old DACA lead for the special mission. I got fucked on this mission yesterday because Millennium Falcon refused, like straight up refused to do any assisting. And it was really annoying. I mean, I have some high defense on her for that, but it's really the health. Health is priority, speed is second priority. And that's going to be good modding for her anyway, because her whole thing is health stacking. So the higher health she has, the better her health stacking. Her health stacking is going to be. I don't change her mods. I keep those mods all the time. And she does just fine for everything that I need her to do. Come on. That's how we know that Hot is here. Good morning, Hot. Yeah, I mean, defense doesn't hurt, but I wouldn't, like, over-prioritize it. Hey, Alex. Welcome to brunch. Oh, where's my coffee? Here it is. We were streaming all week because my wife was away, and we had some fun doing other stuff, too. Except, what was it? Friday night I had a real shit night. No, Thursday night. That fucking raid, man. It did a number on me. And I managed to get my 8.6 that I needed, but, like, I spent all night in bed, like, playing that stupid thing. Pissed me off. It was so annoying. Morning, Bill Nye. I need to bring some, I need to bring more guys to R8 and R9 because now with this new strategy, I feel like I don't have as many battles to do. I have much less that needs to happen. I've done the hard stuff. I've heard this Jabba mission can be done like so easy that Jabba does it on his own, and you can use literally any leftovers for it. Yeah, it's not really brunch time here. It's 8 a.m. It's early, but in all fairness, it's brunch somewhere, right? It's somewhere in the world. It's mid-morning lunchtime, and I tend to get a lot of European viewers, so there you go. Dude, add that data. Man, add that data. Speaking of that data, hold on. We're gonna pause this for a second. Let me pull this up. What did I call it? I called it 99, right? The 99 experiment. We just started an experiment. We did an old endgame farm experiment. And that old endgame farm experiment mostly proved that CG doesn't throttle farms. But I wanted to do a 99 experiment that was literally just the 99th, the last shard possibly needed, right? Oh, I didn't set up my sources, so let's put this in here. So we set up this experiment where people can come in when you only need one more drop of a shard left. So that's 99 for normal and 98 for accelerated farms, right? And tracking how many battles it takes you to get that character their last shard, so that we can track and we can see. And I don't know why somebody skipped this one here, because they're dumb. So we can definitively and finally prove that there is nothing crazy going on. Who moved the third and the fourth sheet? Between tracking. So make sure, sign up for this, add your data to this, help us out. It's going to take us a long time to get this done because of how little data each person can contribute at any one time. But get it done. It helps. It'll help so much to disprove that shit. But anyway, back to reality here. Oh, did I have to? Oh no, there we go. I have all 5. That Enoch team has been putting in work for me too. Man, you only need 4 people in a lot of the middle territories, so I've been 4-manning with like Dark Trooper, and they just, with that Omicron, they do so well. It's so much fun to not watch them and ignore it and then still do well. I've been using him in GAC. A lot of people have been saying that they haven't, and they haven't been great in GAC. I just recently threw them on defense to take something else for offense. But I was using him against Qui-Gon before. And they were doing, pretty alright. And that AB, guys, I don't know why, but the Peridia Patrol assault battle, it's like one instance in the game where we must all be playing that team wrong. Because everybody seems to have trouble beating that ABM manual. And then when you put it on auto, it just works. I autoed every single one of those tiers. I literally could not beat it on manual. I don't know what the deal was. But when you do Purdia Patrol, give them decent mods, put it on auto, and for some reason, it works better. Oh, my TB officer is messaging me. Is Q up here? Hey, Q. If you're here. I know sometimes you pop in. Q, Quentin, is my fucking lifesaver, man. Like, I brought him in to help me with TB, and, like, he makes my life so much easier. So that I'm only spending, like, an hour a day on TB-related shit, not 10 hours a day. Alright, what else we got to do? So many less battles. Can you underman here? Probably not. Yeah, it's kind of like the negotiator bug, where they kept saying, it's fixed, it's fixed, it's fixed. And they never fixed it until Executor came out. I wonder if I can do this. No, you can't do this 4-man. Okay. Because Kessel and Tatooine you can 4-man for whatever stupid reason. Mob Enforcer. Okay. I have to actually fix the graphic because it's incorrect. Actually, let's fix that now because Belloc, I don't know if Belloc is here, but he let me know that this is not correct. Topmost is 2, Imperial Officer, and then MJ. Let's see. There we go. So let's do 2 Mob Enforcers. It's probably the easiest one, right? You guys remember that time I sent Radis in with my Gungans? Like a fucking dumb. Hey, Astra. Good morning. I'm also excited for the Gungies, everybody. 2 weeks. 2 weeks we're doing the Gungies. I have almost every video from all of the content creators. There's only one more video I'm waiting for. No, I will not tell you who it is. I just got one from Urs last night, which was dope. I gotta start compiling that shit. And shout out to Moonborn, who literally, like, has the hardest job and has had to, like, do everything for this thing. Like, set up so many different graphics just to make this work. And he does it. Like a fucking trooper, he does it. Hey, Nee, I feel like it's definitely Phil. It's actually funny for reasons I'll get to in a second. Nee, I feel like I haven't seen you in a little bit, so it's good to see you. It's not Phil, though. Phil was a little bit late on his shit. But Phil had to, in fairness, he actually had to send me a couple videos for a couple different things related to the Gungies. The difference with Phil is that because we're friends and because we talk, not every day, but like every couple days, I have no problem calling him out and being like, dude, get your shit done. Come on, help me out, man. But a lot of these people that I don't have that kind of relationship with, I can't do that, and I can only politely remind them. I haven't watched Phil's yet, but He sent it to me about a week ago. I will tell you though, Bit Dynasties is the most fire fucking video I've ever seen. I uploaded it as a private video on YouTube just to show the Gungies committee Bit Dynasties video, and it's 5 minutes, and it is just amazing. It is mind-blowing how much effort he put in to a video for content that isn't even his content. And when I told him, I was like, hey man, like if you ever need anything, like you did so much work, like let me know, I'll help you out with whatever. He was just like, hey, I just want to do fun stuff for the community. I cannot wait for people to see. His video is so fucking good that I have to rearrange all the other videos. It's amazing. Good morning, Christian. You know, Astra, next year, I'm working on some processes to make next year even better. In terms of like content, I know that you started creating content in terms of getting more people involved and making the nomination process a lot better to help out. So I'm already thinking about making next year a better thing. Dude, Bill Nye, man, I cannot stress, like when you see his video, it's just so mind-blowing. The level of effort that he put into it. I was cracking up the entire time. It was so good. Alright, I have Dark Trooper now. I'm less likely to beat this than I am to beat this. So let's throw Leia in here. I mean, Leia beat it last time, and I realized she only had half of her mods on. So, I mean, she will maybe do really good this time. Does his Omicron do anything for them? Enemies camp bonus turn meter. Start of each counter, all Jedi and roll off and gain protection up. How many of these are Rebel Fighter? She's not a... Well, can't gain bonus turn meter. Let's try it. I'm sorry to hear that, Hot. I was expecting a joke. I was like, is he really sick? Let me wait for the one-liner. But I guess there wasn't one, so sorry that you're not feeling well. I'm not feeling well basically most of the winter just because of allergies. My nose doesn't work right. Ever. We've got a lot of reviews to do today. Well, you know what? It's only a TB day, so we can get through at least... I want to get through at least the ones from the December, because those people have been waiting a while. Christian, you make me want to sing Matchbox 20. You've got a disease deep inside me, makes me feel uneasy, baby. I can't live without you, tell me, what am I supposed to do without you? Keep your distance from me, don't pay no attention to me. Those are the only words that I remember, but great song. Have you been taking like a cough suppressant? I found that like cough drops suck. And when I take cough drops, I cough more. But then you get like that cough syrup, cough suppressant stuff, and you just chug it like water. I'm not crazy, I'm just a little unwell, I know. Right now you can't tell. Stay a while and maybe then you'll see a different side of me. Yeah, I know my Matchbox 20. I grew up in the 90s into the 2000s. Oh, man. Okay, more partisans. Great mothers. My great mothers are not R8 yet. New shoes. I'm not a shoes guy. Oh, can I four-man here? Let's see. Can you four-man here? You cannot four-man here. I wonder if you can four-man on this one. Where is it? I'm not a shoes guy. As a martial arts instructor, I rarely wear shoes. So for Christmas, my wife got me a pair of Hey Dudes, which are like those hobo-looking shoes that you don't have to tie, but they still have ties, kind of. So I wear those. All right, we're gonna do C. What is that one? Oh, what's that song? Matchbox. I think it's Matchbox 20. Is the superhero song? Oh, fuck, I don't remember the words to it, but I really like it. And of course, being a crazy savant, Christian, you'll get some of the words to it, and then I'll remember the rest. No. You're thinking. I know what you're thinking of. You're thinking of Superman. I didn't say Superman. I said superhero. It's yeah, you're thinking of Superman, which is. If I'm alive and well, will you be there or holding my hand? Well, I took a walk around the world to ease my troubled mind. I left my body lying somewhere in the sands of time. But I watched the world float to the dark side of the moon. I feel there's nothing I can do. That's that song. I know what you're thinking of. Let me see if I can find it. Matchbox 20. Real World. The chat delay is at the lowest it can possibly be. There is no lower no lower that the chat delay can go. I don't have it on a crazy delay on purpose. Nee, man, I just hate shoes in general. Like, I don't like being constricted. Most shoes that I wear have, like, a wider front. They're not like the toe like a lot of dress shoes have, and I hate dress shoes because of that wide, pointy toe. Hey Dudes, and, like, I call them hobo shoes. The hobo shoes, they have like a very wide front, and I'm a fan of them for when I have to wear shoes. So So I looked it up, Christian, and the song is Real World by Matchbox 20. Right? It's the one that's like, well, I wonder what it's like to be a rainmaker. I wonder what it's like to know that I made the rain. I'd store it in boxes with little yellow tags on every one. And you can come and see it when it's done. That Superman song was Kryptonite by, let me see, yeah, it's Three Doors Down. Alright, we have one more here. Let's use, I don't know, let's use Lord Vader, I guess. I don't wear Crocs. I do not wear Crocs. I actually wear, so I have house shoes. I started wearing house slippers ever since coming back from Korea because floors get cold. But I wear sandals 90% of the time. I wear sandals in the winter. I don't wear socks with sandals. I will go out in 10-degree weather with sandals on, and people will look at me like, what are you doing? Sandals I'm fine with. But at work, I have to wear shoes. So I wear like I call them hobo shoes. They look like a hobo just took a bunch of cloth and put it together and said, hey, this is what we're doing. I guess let's do Jabba. No, Jabba doesn't work because Jabba, any Jabba's friend. Alright. Lord Vader. We will do Lord Vader. All year round, man. All year round. I just, again, being a martial artist, I hate shoes. I hate being constricted in my feet. I can run in sandals. Like, I know how to run in sandals. I have no problem slipping sandals off. And getting out of them if I need to. Right? If I have to go faster. That's me, man. And I'm in New York, New Jersey. I'm in that area, so like it gets really cold here. I don't care. I'm wearing sandals. I know you're thinking of like thong sandals, knee. I'm not talking about like thong sandals. I'm talking about like slides. I usually wear like a pair of slides and I run them to the ground. Like I run them to the point that I know when to replace my slides when I start slipping because there's literally the bottom is flat and has no traction left. You're right. This is really the last thing I have left. Let's take you out. Let's throw you in. And this, usually they kill someone. As long as Luke and Ahsoka survive, we can usually win it. I'll kick something with shoes on. I prefer to kick something with no shoes on. Ah, fuck, I don't get my stun. Come on, guys. I don't know if I'm winning it now. Okay. They took me the fuck. They're like, no. Okay, well. That was a thing. And this motherfucker still hasn't put his Bastilla Shan in there. Come on, guys. Now that there's more people here, I am looking for someone at like the 11.5 million range. We had somebody quit on us mid TB, like straight up quit the game. So if there's anyone looking for a new guild, again, like 11.5 range, hit me up. We will talk. And this is that stupid, the droids mission, and I ain't doing, well, I mean, we'll, yeah, there's no way I'm winning that mission, so. SnorQuest, is this a different alt? Because I know you were talking about like an account that you do with your son, and he was working on Lord Vader, right? So it must be a different alt. Okay, so you have your own. Got it. Man, there's never any like 5-speed mods in here, and I'm like, with Peridia Patrol and, no, because that's, I have 50, whatever. I'm buying it because why not? I cannot spend. I literally cannot spend that shit fast enough anymore. By the way, guys, for those of you on Twitch, Nena was complaining that there was nothing to spend those free points on. So I redid them over the last couple of days. And if you guys have any other ideas that you think are interesting, let me know on Discord. Hit me a message, and I'll consider adding fun things in there. But before I take my quick fill my coffee up with water break, we have some housekeeping to do first. And that housekeeping is our poll for the day. So let's pull over to our poll. I hate the term pee-pee. Just call it a penis. Oh, Captain. I love it. So let's see. Who won for this week? It looks like... All right, well, I guess we have to pause this just to talk about Bones and how much of a piece of a shit he is. I fucking love it. For those of you who don't know Bones, he's such... I love him like a brother, but he is such a piece of shit. First of all, he's a Kansas City Chiefs fan, which is like, of course you're a Kansas City Chiefs fan right now. They win every fucking game every season. That's going to change when Travis Kelce retires in a year or two, and then he's going to be all sad in his little Florida home, pretending that he has a good team and crying tears of sadness. What I love about Bones the most is a few weeks ago we did a takeover of Three Scoundrels, and he's been trying to get Rabid Beaver onto Three Scoundrels for literally a year now, and all he does is sit in his podcast and complain about how Rabid Beaver ignores his calls and ghosts him like my Tinder dates. And I managed in our takeover to get him to come on for 3 hours while Bones wasn't there, which is funny as fucking hell to me. But this piece of shit, I come onto his podcast like 12 times last year to help him out. And he votes me the worst guest of Three Scoundrels for 2024. So fuck him. I don't even give a shit if this gets demonetized because of all of my F-bombs today. Bones can suck my dick, and you can quote me on that, and you can clip that, and you can send it to him. Fucking asshole. What discipline do I teach, Moonman? It's a blended style, but it's predominantly Shotokan karate. A little bit of kung fu influence, a little bit of jiu-jitsu influence, but it's predominantly Shotokan. Our poll. Our pull for today has Armorer. Armorer is who we are doing. Armorer is who we are bringing up to R5. Yeah, fuck. Exactly, fuck Bones. Piece of shit. So let's bring our Armorer to... I actually only committed to bringing them to R0, but for some reason I've been bringing them to R5 every time. So let's bring Armorer to R5. I almost wouldn't have been able to bring him to R5, her to R5, but because I almost had to do a last minute R8 for the guild, but that got sorted out by someone else. I mean, listen, I like a chick in a mask. Not a paper bag, a mask. Alright, so Armor is R5. We have to populate our pull for this upcoming week. There's really not that much left. Leona Machida, I'm pretty sure, is Shotokan. Knight to knee. I'm almost positive. But interesting story about Machida before we start populating this. I used to hate the UFC. I was not a big fan of fighting, and I thought it was fucking stupid. And then I saw UFC 98, which was Machida versus Evans. A friend asked me to come over to watch the fight. He was like, let's just give it a chance. So I came over, I watched, and he hit Evans, and Evans got knocked down, and the ref was like, come on, finish it, and Machida came up with that punch and stopped short, and was like, dude, I'm done, like, he's done. And I grew so much respect for Machida because of that. And then I don't watch the UFC anymore, it's gotten too crazy. But I watched through the Machida era. I ended up going to see UFC 104 in LA. So I watched Machida live beat Shogun Rua. Not Shogun Rua. I watched... was it Shogun? Yeah, it was Shogun Rua. So I watched him beat him in LA. And then I went to UFC 113 in Montreal. No, who was UFC 104? It was Machida and someone else, I feel like. Let me see. UFC 104. Oh, yeah, it was. So then who was the other one that I saw? Oh, I know what I'm thinking of. So I saw 104 live, which was really great. And then I went to 113 in Montreal. Me and my buddy, we drove up to Montreal to watch the UFC 113 fight. And he lost to Rua that day. I thought it was kind of a lame fight either way. But the funniest part about UFC 113 was that there was like 7 US versus Canadian fights on the card. And every single United States fighter won. Except, I think his name was Tom Lawler. It was US versus Canada, and he was known for his walkout songs. And he came out to Living in America, dressed as Apollo Creed, dressed with like the American flag shorts, and like did the whole like dance and everything. And then he ended up getting, I think, knocked out. But I had a huge respect for Lyoto Machida. I actually met him on the streets of Montreal. And I have a picture with him, but at the time I didn't have a smartphone, so it's on like this little potato phone, and it's really grainy and blurry. But it was really cool to meet him. I also met Herb Dean at like an after party. I don't know if I have a picture with him or not. But anyway, we have to figure out our pull for the next week, now that I've gone off on this tangent. Right, so the characters that we are bringing to G12 on, what is it, 7/1/19, so 126, right? I think it's 126. And we're getting to the end, where we're getting pretty close to having everybody. So let's shout out some names, and let's get them added to the list. The better thing about Watt is that it happens on turn 1. Is that you can get it done on turn 1 versus like the Tex. You do have to like wait a turn and hope that she gets a second turn. Oh, I still don't have the Mandalorian. Okay, so we'll add the Mandalorian. We could just keep them the same as last time, but I don't think that there's any fun in doing that. Ba-da-da. Ba-da-da. Shout them out. All right, if no one's shouting them out, I'm just going to add, I don't know, base. Did I not do base? I thought I did base weeks. Oh, no, I didn't do base. Make sure I spell that right. Base L337. L337, I literally very, very recently got to 7 stars, which is funny as hell to me. Boba Fett, Scion of Django will be, I think, the last. Oh man, if I have to do Kira, I will end up starting to do that special mission. I do help my guild out a lot, though. I have an R9 fucking wicket. Well, I'm not. Yeah, of course, Nena, but I'm not using Watt in a BKM squad. I mean, in a situation where you're going to use one or the other. What do we got? All right, if I'm not hearing names, I'm just keeping this as is from last week. Other than Baze, L3, Boba Fett, Scion of Django, Kira, Vander, Chewie, Talia, Ewok, Scout, Ugnaught, The Mandalorian, and Imperial Probe Droid. So I will send that out now. And that is up there. I know Armorer is a BKM team. What I mean is that sometimes people used Armorer in place of Watt in like a C team. So if you're just using her in a BKM team, yes, you're very likely to get that third stack. That's a whole different thing, though. We'll add these here. Okay, Talia. Ewok Scout is that. We gotta get, where is the Chewy one? Ugnaught is this little funny guy. R2D2 and Imperial Probe Droid. So there we go. Those are all added. I am going to take a quick break in a second to fill up my cup. Before I do, I want to talk about one thing. I need to pull up Discord for that. So let's pull up Discord. A few weeks ago, we did a charity stream for Child's Play, a sponsored game stream for Child's Play. We raised $1,400 for them. But now we have these fires going on in LA. And I know that I know a couple people who have been personally affected by that who play Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. There's one person on the Three Scoundrels squad who completely lost their house. I know there's a few people on our own Discord who are very nervous about losing their house. We have decided as a community in my sponsored area to divert that money temporarily to LA Relief and donate that specifically to them, and also do another charity sponsorship. And during that charity sponsorship, our goal is to re-raise that $1,400 for Child's Play, and any additional money will be going to LA Relief or to another applicable charity. It's all here on my Egg Game Whore channel. It's a pretty easy game. I did it for Rabid Beaver a few days ago. It took me 4 days to max out all of these levels. It's for charity. I don't make any money off of this. I'm actually spending money just to like cast it to my screen. So if you want to help raise money without having to spend a dime, this is a great way to do it. The game, it's a dumb little solitary game. I played it while I was watching TV. It's not like our city builders that are very involved. So if you're able to do that and haven't played this game before, all you got to do is click on this link to download the game right in my Egg Game Whore channel. And that'll go directly to help applicable charities. With that said, I'm going to take a quick break to fill up my cup, go to the bathroom, and get us started on our roster reviews. As for her point, Nena, when Armor came out, BCam wasn't there, so people were using her as a fill-in for Watt with C. So what I'm just saying is, like, when you use her as a plug-and-play character, Watt is quicker and more reliable. When you use her in her team, then it's a different story. I will be right back. All right, we are back. You know what's funny? Fear itself is yesterday, and I find it funny specifically because you're wishing my Broncos well. We were at the bar yesterday, not to watch the game specifically, just to go out to eat, and the game was on, and the entire game, I was unfortunately for you rooting against the Steelers specifically because of Russell Wilson. I'm obviously not mad that the Steelers have Russell Wilson because I like Bo Nix. I'm mad that we spent so much money on him. He didn't do great for us, and he got you guys to the playoffs. So the entire game, every time something happened, I was like, fuck Russell Wilson. Yeah, SnoreQuest, it's shit. And look, as a small time streamer, there's not much that I can do. But, you know, as I said this in my Game Whore channel, I know I am part of influencer culture, which is weird because I don't feel like I am, and I don't particularly like that kind of culture. So doing things like a sponsored thing to raise money for charity is my way of kind of resonating with the fact that I have this platform. So I'm if we can do anything to send money to that area, we're going to do it, even if we have to play dumb games to do it. And it was very successful when we did it in December, and I'm really hoping that this one is also successful, so that we can, get money where it needs to, even if it's a very small amount. Every small amount helps, whether it's feeding people or, buying clothes or whatever it is. And our first payment will go out in like 2 to 3 days once it clears to my account. So I try to be very transparent about that, and that'll all be sent and shown to people so that they can see that it's there. With that said, we have roster reviews to do now, and it's been a little while since we've done them. We have a lot of them on the agenda. We're going to try to get through as many of these as we can. I think it's Ixios, right? And Discord. We're going to pop Discord behind. Why is this? No. Oh, because I moved windows around. Let me just fix this real quick. I don't have any raid to do, thankfully. I will tell you, Friday night when I was playing Sons of the Forest, I did try to do my raid, and I was just having so much bad luck, and the people that were on can tell you, like, I was not having fun, and I ended up just saying, hey, I need to just log off, because I try not to be mad when I'm playing games, and if I'm playing a game and I'm angry and I'm not having fun anymore, there's no sense in playing. It was really, really, really annoying me. What's our time? 108. 108. All right. So we got Ixios. Link to your .gg. Top 20 of your fleet arena looks like 2 Leviathans, 18 Executors. Assault battles, they're mostly caught up. Okay, this is actually pretty good. What are you currently working on? Bo-Katan, Mandalore, Jedi Knight, Cal Kestis, plus Leviathan. Just unlocked C and JMK this past month, so working them up at the moment. Having the usual Zeta and mod drought that LSBs bring, so hoping Leviathan will give me time to ease the crunch. Holding off on Lord Vader, as hoping to get a Lightspeed bundle for him at some point. Are you dead set on continuing? Open to ideas. How highly do you value efficiency? I value efficiency. Are there any favorite characters? No. I'm going to say, I know I put it up on my screen. I generally don't look. Count is probably in the 9 to 9, I'd say 9 to 10 range, most likely. Look at that, just under 9. Fuck you, man. Why couldn't you be just slightly higher? Now, this is from 12/29, though, which is 2 weeks ago, so some things may have changed. And Ixios is talking about, like, an upcoming possible, Bad Batch LSB. I've talked about this in length recently. I don't believe in waiting for Lightspeed bundles. However, this concept I've been talking about is basically I call it the casualization of monetization, and how CG is trying to bring everybody up to the area of the game where they're focusing on new things. So I do think that at least a Bad Batch LSB is probably very likely in the next few months, though I don't know if we'll see it before like May the 4th. It's probably somewhere around there, but who knows? I don't like to hold things, though. But again, Lord Vader is not really a priority farm. So that's one that you can potentially hold off on and bet on. Because they are very high Chirotech farms, I do think that it's probably going to be like a $50 bundle, not like one of those $20 ones, though. Okay, let's see what we got here. Let's see how caught up to date we are. Guild 485, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In that time, we got JMK, and where is C? C still low. Did you... I just unlocked C. Oh, right, because that's not his name. 7. Wow, so he's like down here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're really just missing Lord Vader when it comes to the newer things. Did we unlock Leviathan yet? No Leviathan yet. Let's check it out. And we found this, wrong thing. We found out last time that I can click this and this beautiful thing comes up. I did not know that this existed. Someone said it was new. I love it. It makes life so much easier. Still working on Malik. Though it doesn't show ships, it seems like, which kind of stinks. Because we don't know. Obviously, Malgus is not a requirement, but his Fury class is, so we're still waiting on Malgus. I don't have his ship shards up here yet. Let's check out Bo-Katan. Don't have Bo yet, and Jedi Knight, Cal, no. Okay, so we haven't finished those in the last 2 weeks. Let's see, where is Bo-Katan? There she is. Working on shard farming. That's going to hit you hard with the Zetas too, though, unfortunately, because you're going to want, you know, to have that be a solid Lord Vader counter. Did not go for any of this stuff. Have both of those. Where is Cal Kestis? We haven't really even started. Well, we've been doing most of the shard farming for this. Okay. I'm going to look at the bottom end of the roster. So we are doing tier 2 for these, so you're building up. I mean, I know not wanting to use Zetas, but at least getting these guys to like R5 to R7 for that Peridia patrol. It's not as great as Duel of the Fates, but it really is a great event. Doesn't seem like there's anything. Yeah, SnorQuest, I think what happens with those models is they because they change how the stats work, they like copy it over. And so when they update the model, it reads from a different place. Because like the same thing with like General Grievous has the old kit in some of the old events. No Rex. Interesting. Would we not have... We must be using General Skywalker with like... not with 501st, right? Like... I'm going to tell you, man, you're in a tough spot now because everything that you need to do right now is going to be Zeta heavy. Everything you need to do is going to be Zeta heavy. Oof. I would definitely hold off on Lord Vader. 100%. This is a rough one. I'm gonna tell you, I still do think Peridia is going to be the next raid, and that we're gonna need this stuff for that raid. But I do think if Peridia becomes the next raid. I do think Balin's Skull is going to kind of wind up how Dr. Aphra is, in terms of being like a super luxury. You must have bought that bundle, because I can't imagine why you would have gotten this otherwise. Being like a super luxury character that you kind of don't need. That seems to be the niche that he's kind of fallen into. Even though like Great Mothers and Morgan Elsbeth are amazing characters and they do so well with their own team, they're also hard Cantina farms, which does kind of suck and takes away from your whole like signal data thing. I definitely agree. Jedi Knight Cal Kestis, Bo-Katan Mandalore rather, is more important than Jedi Knight Cal Kestis, especially where your guild is at. Mandalore is just a stronger play for most guilds, because it's much easier to get to than Zepho, and you get an amazing character that builds their own team. Whereas Jedi Knight Cal Kestis is an amazing character, unlocking Zepho is much harder, and he becomes a vehicle within other teams while still a good character. So I do agree that Bo-Katan is the stronger play into Jedi Knight Cal Kestis. I would definitely be working on Leviathan, if not just because I think that Leviathan, like, it's just really important to be on top of all of your ships. All players in your area of the game should be focused, at least somewhat, on unlocking everything in their ships, right? So for all players, trying to divert, if you're not currently working on any ships, diverting like even slow farms, 1 or 2 slow farms to ships, and doing it over a long period of time. Ships win Grand Arenas. Ships win Territory Wars. Ships are the easiest points to get in territory battles, and the easiest way to contribute to operations. And they're the longest farms, which basically means if any one of these ships becomes a requirement to something, you just always want to be ready. So I definitely would be going for Leviathan. I really think that with where you are in the game, you probably should be at least slow farming your Ahsoka requirements. At the very, 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 very least. Some people have been talking about an economy event for her. I don't think we're getting one. I think Peridia Patrol was the economy event, which is nicer than having to have the GL. But all other economy events basically came out in conjunction with the GL. But I still think that something's going to be coming that's going to make her important. And I do think that she's a little bit more of a priority than Lord Vader, and I love my Lord Vader. I know that her team, there's still a lot of bugs going on with her, so we don't really know her power. But CG seems to have gotten back from vacation, so hopefully we'll see some of those bugs get fixed and her team will get stronger. Though, I do think... I was thinking about this a couple of days ago, actually. When JMK released and we got Cat, we were given a tier list of characters and their power, and how GL plus Conquest Lifter should be the strongest power level, but how Omicrons should increase the power level of a team by about 1 tier. And I think the problem that we have with Ahsoka, other than her bugs, is that she is built around a lifter who is also an Omicron character. So the character himself is not incredibly powerful without that, which kind of sucks. I think it's a really tough situation to be in, and I think it sucks that Hezra or Jesus Ezra has Omicrons, because it puts her in a weird position of only having that really solid strength in GAC, but still having some really solid counters. Again, we don't fully know because of all of the bugs that seem to be associated with the team. But I do think that on Tuesday we will see at least whoever the first one was it Sabine was the first released character, right? I do think that we'll see her become farmable. And I think that you should be diverting slow farm attention to Ahsoka. So again, slow farm attention is 5 battles a day. When we talk about Peridia Patrol and these 3, I don't think you can ignore Death Trooper, Captain Enoch, and Night Trooper. But because you're doing Tier 2, right now, since it's going to take you a bunch of months, you can allow the Peridia Patrol event to do the farming for you, right? Because that's like 15 to 25 shards a month right now, and you still don't have Huyang or General Syndulla even farmable at this point. So I think you're in a position where you don't have to worry too much about them, you know, even though I think the Paw Patrol event is great. And focus on your Bo-Katan, your Jedi Knight Cal Kestis, your Leviathan, while starting to slow farm. Sabine Wren when she presumably becomes farmable next week, as well as General Syndulla and Captain Ina, General Syndulla and Huyang as they become farmable as well. When you finish Leviathan, though, I will reiterate to you that I really do think it's important to at least pick 1 to 2 ships at all times to be farming them as a slow farm. What do you do if you have every ship in the game maxed, Nana? You said unlocked, but I'm going to say maxed. Then you just make sure you keep up on them. You know, like right now I'm 15 battles a day on 15 battles a day on P1 to get P1 finished up. Right? So that's where I go. You're in a good spot of the game. I know the Zeta Crunch sucks, but that's the best place to be in. Maz, I'm going to be honest. I'm 37. I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. I don't know what a skibbity toilet is. I just know that they sell them at Walmart for some reason. I don't know what a plunger man is. I don't know what you're looking from me. If you want to hear a math nerd talk about how to better do accounts in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, then fucking great. If you want a Gen Z twat waffle to say whatever is fun, then that's not me. Go find, like, I don't know, Arnold T's stream, and you can skibbity or whatever at whatever fucking metric you want to. All right. Pre-recorded. This stream is pre-recorded. He pre-recorded this. He's pre-recorded his brunch stream. He must have pre-recorded these insults, too. That's what I do on my Saturday nights, is I pre-record shit that I do on a Sunday morning. Okay, we're gonna move on. We have to go to Discord. Oh, man, this is also from December. What time is it? 1:20, let's say 1:25. I think I've done one for Thunder before. Have I done one for Thunder before? Nope, I guess I haven't. All right, let's see. Does he actually say that shit? I don't know. What's the top 20 of your fleet arena look like? 9 executors, 10 leviathans, 1 profundity. I can get first every day. You're coordinating? No. I recommend coordinating. It just makes life easier, but, you know, whatever. CT3 of all of the important ones, it's kind of in the same position. It kind of sucks that you have to do the places of power with SLKR because then you have to do it every month, which is annoying. What are you currently working on? Finishing up Luthen's gear and getting Zetas and GLs, slow farming Peridea patrol guys. Guild wants me to start Inquisitors after I unlock C. Are you dead set on continuing with the current farms you're doing? No. How highly do you value efficiency versus fun? Efficiency. Are there any favorite characters? I'm going to say you're at about 7 to 8 million, maybe 8.5 million as a max. Right? So, let's see. Ooh, alright. I'm right there. I got it. Look at that. Thunder Fists. Let's see. Thunder Fists. I know that was, I guess, on your screens at all times, but I was looking at Discord. Mandalore 362 is the guild. Let's see how they're doing on Inquisitors right now. Grand Inquisitors 18. I'm assuming there's no Reva unlocks. Oh, so I'm assuming these are people that came from other guilds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Did we unlock Supreme Leader? No, I keep saying Supreme Leader. Sith Eternal is unlocked, but still low. They want to start Inquisitors. I don't know why I clicked on Imperial Troopers. We've sort of started them, I guess. I will tell you, well, you probably don't want to use an Omicron on Marok, but is it Marok or Marek? I don't know. I wouldn't recommend it at your level, but it does make the Third Sister mission literally, like, autoable, which is nice. I'm doing it because it makes the team great. I just don't have him at Relics yet. Gear tracker. When you do finish C, I know you finished him, but when you do finish C, you should be able to do that Places of Power at CT3 for the 3-star. You might actually be able to do it now, and I'll look in a minute. Okay, Lord Vader, Star Killer, Grand Inquisitor, Jabba we have, Profundity, no Profundity. We don't have Leviathan. No Cal. Bo-Katan. I'm gonna tell you, man, that ship farms are really nice because you don't need as many Zetas when it comes to, like, building out the teams. So if you're feeling a really strong crunch right now, working on a ship farm might be really solid choice for you. I would do Inquisitors. They're going to be hard. They got a lot of Chirotech investment. They have a lot of Zeta investment. But Grand Inquisitor fundamentally does change the team. Third Sister fundamentally just explodes the team in terms of how awesome it makes that team. It is worth it to do once your guild starts asking you to do it. You're doing CT1 of Fanatical Devotion, which tells me you're doing it with Tuskens. It would be nice. It's not a requirement to build that up, but you're just going to get a super strong team that is very versatile once you have Third Sister, and it does take a village. It does take the whole guild to get that done. Leviathan. Got Malik. Do we have Malgus? We do not have Malgus yet. Which means we do not have Fury class yet. I would definitely do Inquisitors. I definitely do Inquisitors. I'm surprised. Your guild is kind of at that area where they're going to start to ask you to do either Jedi Knight Cal Kestis or Bo-Katan. I'm honestly going to say wait. You have a younger guild, so I'd wait on it until they need you to do it, but just expect that to come up in the near future. I would say that you need to start a ship farm. I know that you can get number 1 every day right now, but that can change at any time. And I do very strongly believe that in the next 6 months we are going to get a profundity lifter that is going to make profundity better than Executor with P1, and that'll put it on par with Leviathan. Here's what I'll say, because I don't know your Malgus shards and I don't know your Fury class shards. If you can get Malgus and Fury class done in the next 4 to 5 months, do Leviathan. If you can't get them done in the next 4 to 5 months, get Profundity. But that should be your concurrent farm with Inquisitors, because it's not that you can ignore the Zetas, but you can choose just not to work on the Rogue One team or use the Rogue One team if you really want to, and just prioritize the ship. Or the same thing with the Sith. Even though Rogue One is a nice team, even though the Sith with Malgus is a really nice team, you have the option of not working on them immediately or not finishing them immediately. Snorquest, man, you're making a mistake, dude. I know, they're Kyrotech heavy. Nobody likes the Inquisitors. But, dude, like, once you got Third Sister, she puts that team into the stratosphere. Will we get a Lightspeed bundle? Again, because of this casualization of monetization that I've talked about, I do actually think that you'll probably see one in the next 6 months. But I also think that you're probably going to be expected to spend like $50 on that. So just be prepared for that. That's not going to be a $20 Lightspeed bundle. That's going to be a you're spending money bundle. So once again, your concurrent farm. Well, Third Sister is 2 years out for you based on you and your guild, right? The more people in your guild that do that farm, the quicker it gets. You can get up to 50 shards a month. 100 shards a month, because the event runs twice. So even just you having Third Sister, that's 2 shards a month potentially, right? And that, especially if there's only a few people in your guild with him, can reduce the amount of months by like 3 or 4 months. Every person that gets them, great. But it does sound like you're at a lower part in the game, and one of the big things is, and I think Fat Phil said this, he was saying, wait until your guild asks you to do them. I agree with that to some extent, depending on where you're at in the game. Because you do want other people in the guild to kind of help you with getting those shards. But again, Thunder, I would say if you can get Malgus and Fury class in the next 4 to 5 months, go Leviathan. If you can't, go Profundity. I love the Peridia Patrol guys. I love the Peridia Patrol event. I think it is a really solid event. I do think that a lot of people can kind of wait on it and let the tier 2 kind of build up their shards. But if you're slow farming them, it's not a big deal. That's fine. That's not a problem. But I do think your next big thing is Inquisitors into a capital ship to kind of help you with your Zeta crunch a little bit. And then I wanted to check one more thing, which is to see your Sith, what they look like right now. You honestly might, if you like remod, you might be able to 3-star Places of Power with Papa Palp lead. Doing like Papa Palp, Darth Malik, Treya, Darth Revan, and Nihilus. And Nihilus becomes the vehicle for that battle. And trying to get at least one Annihilate per round and also starting each round with an annihilate, right? To annihilate their leader, to take out and turn the morale buff into a debuff. It might take a couple tries to do it, but with some really good remodding, you probably can. When do capital ship events come around? I believe, and I could be wrong, I think it's Executor is the 15th of the month. Profundity is like the last day of the month, and I think Leviathan is the 20th of the month. But be careful. A lot of people fall into this trap. The event does not show up in your event tab. The event only shows up in the journey guide until you have the bonus tiers. So make sure to check your journey guide to go to the Executor event, because it will not show up. It will not show up in your event guide until you have the bonus tier unlocked. Have I done a video on those challenges? I honestly haven't, and one of the big reasons that I haven't is I don't have an alt account, and I have everything at such high relics that I have no way of really doing that. I will tell you though that Captain Amazing has done a lot of guides for those assault battles using lower geared characters. So ask Cap on our Discord, right? We share a Discord. Ask him about his guides. He's done them for pretty much all the assault battles, and they have helped out a lot of people. So that's been his thing, and I don't have alt accounts. I don't have access to other people's accounts to do them myself. So they do exist, and they are within arm's reach for a lot of you. All right, let's move on. We got KageMCL. This is another... Oh, my wife texted me. Let's see. Oh, she got a reservation. Nice. Let's check this out. KageMCL. Did I do... See, these are all people that I feel like... Well, I guess not. I guess I've never done a roster review for them too, but this is the last of my roster reviews that are from December, so I am catching up. KageMCL, let's say 138. I've gotten so much better at timestamps over the years. What's the top 20 of your fleet arena look like? Mostly Leviathans with a few Executors. Are you coordinating? No. Once again, I so strongly recommend coordinating with your fleet Discord. And I think it's fleet Discord, right? If you just go onto our Discord and you type fleet Discord, I think it's this. It brings up a 4-minute video on how to do it, right? Right there. 4 minutes, super easy. I recommend it. It makes your life so much better. Assault battles. Rebel Roundup. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Can't sim Secrets and Shadows yet, but still 3. Fanatical Devotion 1. Duel of the Fates. Both of them at R7. What are you currently working on? Balin, Leviathan. Are you dead set on continuing what you're working on? Probably, but I'm open to suggestions. Probably 80-20 efficiency to fun. Are there any favorite characters you want to prioritize, even though you know it's probably not smart? Ahsoka. I mean, if you're doing CT3 at all these events, you're probably at the 10 to 11 million, 11.5 million range. So it most likely doesn't matter, right? Let's see. 10.7. Beautiful. Rank 16 in Fleet Arena. Unfortunately, .gg no longer tells you somebody's like how they hit in Fleet Arena. So I don't know what kind of crystals you're getting other than the fact that you're getting top 20. Um, you're working on Leviathan now. Let's see. A guild of Gungans. Can I join this guild? Oh my god. Do you have Gungans? Can you be... Nah, that's fucking right. Does your guild leader have? Your guild leader better fucking have Gungans. Oh, an R9. Did the R9 all of them? No. What a pussy. Didn't R9 all of his Gungans. And he's in a guild called a Guild of Gungans. What a poser. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hey, Mary J. Well, they do have Gungans. But, like, your guild leader, if you're in a guild called a Guild of Gungans, your guild leader should have all R9 Gungans. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have all the important ones. Did we get Leviathan since? Still working on Leviathan. We have Fury class, which means we have Malgus. So let's take a look. You right? I don't want to go through 50 accounts. You know what? Actually, we can. Because there's an easier way to do that, right? How many Jar Jars in a Guild of Gungans? Like, a Guild of Gungans only has 27 people with Jar Jar. That is some, like, false-ass advertising. Are there better... Like, maybe they're just waiting on the event? Let's check out Boss Nass. Like, look at those people that don't even have a relict Boss Nass in a Guild of Gungans. They should all be booted. Bunch of piece of shits. I was ready to join their guild. I was like, guys, I'm coming in, but I'd expect to be the leader. Alright, let's see. I will R9 any Gungan that comes to this game. I killed the false promises. KageMCL, you need to change your guild's name. We're calling you guys out. You are a guild of lies. We were thinking the same thing there. Alright, Star Killer, Grand Inquisitor. I'm actually surprised that a guild at 523 that you still don't have Grand Inquisitor. Let's go back to your guild. How are they doing with this? Are you freeloading? It looks like you're freeloading. You don't have Third Sister yet, but a lot of your guild does. Wow. You'll probably have her fairly soon. It must be a newer guild for you, I feel like, probably. Got Cal. Okay. Where are we with this? So are you just waiting for the event then? It sounds like you're probably just waiting for the Leviathan event. Just want to double check again. Yeah. Seems like you're just waiting for the event. So you'll have Leviathan. That's nice. Unfortunately, it's not super amazing until you have it at 7 stars. But it'll be functional. How are we doing on Balin? There's no sense. I mean, so what are you currently working on? Balin and Leviathan. There's no sense in stopping those farms. You're so close to Balin. Again, I do think that Balin will be important for the next raid. That is not confirmed. But I do think he will become just a luxury character after that. But you're so close to this point, you might as well. As far as Ahsoka, here's the reality. You're at a point in the game where you have the majority of ROI already invested. So it's not smart to go for Ahsoka, right? And especially, you're not terribly far. You're in the same... I mean, other than Rex, Barriss, and Fulcrum, you're basically in the same position that I am, except you did get Huyang. I'm wondering if it's just a favorite character of yours or if you got lucky. Because, I mean, why have Huyang and not General Syndulla, Sabine and Syndulla? The most important one to have wailed on would have been Syndulla, but we're not going to focus on that because I don't know. There's no problem in going for Ahsoka right now. Unless you're planning on spending heavy crystals on her, though, it's going to take a little while. Because Sabine will probably be farmable in a week. In 2 days, actually. But Syndulla is going to be a little while until she's even farmable. So you're going to want to work on some stuff in the interim. I'm going to say this. You're at a point in the game, one, you should have Inquisitors. Work on your fucking Inquisitors. You're going to have Third Sister eventually. It is transformative for that team. That team is... Anytime I look up a counter, it's like, oh, Third Sister counters that. It's just such a versatile team once you have Third Sister. And you're not far off based on your guild. And it's going to take you some time to, work on them and unlock them and get where you need to anyway with them. So I would definitely be working on these guys while you're working on Ahsoka. The other thing that I will stress to you is I'm looking at your Discord message and you have R7 Duel of the Fates and R7 Peridia Patrol. Now, 6 months ago, we were not sure about the permanence of Duel of the Fates because of some comments that Meathead made. Based on the last assault battle thing that happened and what they said after they fixed it, it seems like Duel of the Fates is here to stay. I really strongly think that a player at your level should at the very least have R9, MQJ, and POW. CG is releasing the floodgates on R9 materials. They are signaling to the community that R9 is going to be more and more important. And they have given you an avenue to collect that with a return on investment that is not that long. I think it's 1.5 years if you do no refreshing. And that's not a long time for a game like this. I actually refreshed the top tier one time, both for Peridia Patrol and Duel of the Fates. I really think that at least Duel of the Fates should be R9 tier. I think that Peridia Patrol R9 tier is a little more luxury because it's a longer, higher ROI time. I think it's about 3 years without refreshes. But I did it. I did it because I see the floodgates opening. I see them saying R9's important. And I needed to start getting R9 materials more consistently as soon as possible. And it was a great time to do before the holidays. So I've been burning that for like the last 3 events or whatever it is. I think it's more of a luxury for Peridia Patrol. But I would strongly consider it. I know some people are iffy. They're like, well, I don't want to spend the materials. I see the signals, right? CG signaling it to us, and I think it's worth it. But if you don't want to do Peridia Patrol, Duel of the Fates, I almost think is mandatory to have at the R9 tier at your level. So I would really, 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 really put yourself in a position to do that in the short term. I know you're still working on Fulcrum for Ahsoka. I don't think it matters. I just really think Duel of the Fates should be R9 tier. So if I had to say what to do, Leviathan you're pretty much done with. Finish that. Balin you're pretty much done with. Finish that. Farm your fucking Inquisitors. Do your R9 Duel of the Fates as a mandatory farm. Peridia Patrol, I say 60-40 do it. I'm in the do it camp. I understand people that don't want to do it. Absolutely, Ahsoka, go for Ahsoka. None of these things are going to take you a ton of time. But I also notice, right, like, finish your 501st. Okay? You have to do Rex anyway for Ahsoka. So you might as well just finish it. You might as well have a strong 501st team. You're so close to it. It's going to be a smaller, shorter farm for you. That is where my recommendation would be while you're working on Ahsoka. Right, that's where I would go. That's what I would do. It's all smaller stuff at this point. Let's just see if there's any Tiny Tim things that we can get done. Inquisitor, yeah, and Fanatical Devotion, you'll get to 2 and 3. Inquisitor's comp for Riva mission with Marok, I haven't done it yet. I don't think you want to do it with Marok unless you have the Omicron, because he doesn't really have a lot of Inquisitor synergy without the Omicron. But with the Omicron, I honestly don't really think it matters so much. I don't think it matters so much because his Omicron makes the hardest part of that event literally irrelevant. Right? So like Grand Inquisitor, I would probably do Grand Inquisitor, Marok with Omicron, fifth brother, seventh sister, and I would say ninth sister, assuming you don't have third sister. Would you first R9 POW versus and Qui-Gon before GL Tank? Look, Snorquest, you've been here long enough to know that I do not have an R8. I do not have an R9 Leia. I do not have an R9 JML. Because I don't see any ROI in it. People who do JML and Leia to R9, they're doing it for competitive edge because they want to be competitive. And that is fine, if that's your goal. JML for 90% of players, unless you plan on being a Kyber 1 player, which I don't, there's no reason to R9 JML. And everyone's like, but he does so much more fucking damage. It doesn't matter. You're going to win 50% of your GACs no matter what. People need to stop looking at what makes the team better and what makes your account better and see them as different things. So I absolutely would do POW Qui-Gon to R9 before doing JML or Leia. Now with that said, as my guild is starting to open up like Vandor, and as my guild is starting to open up Ring of Kafrene, JML is one of the ones that I'm considering bringing to R9 first, because he'll offer me a team that I can use in TB while also offering me more GAC viability. But that I could do a half-hour video on what affects an account versus what affects a team. And that's a whole different discussion. Knights of Ni, I'm telling you right now, once I finish Marok, my Marok is at 60 of 100. I'm putting that Omicron on. Not even just for that battle. Because my guild doesn't need third sister anymore. But literally, the team is amazing in TB with that Omicron. I am putting that Omicron on. I am taking all of my Inquisitors to R8, and I am using that for points because I've seen it in action. It is amazing. And I love hitting auto because it saves me time. And if something's going to save me time, time is my most important metric. Time is my most important resource. So if I can save myself time, that is exactly what I'm going to do. All right, let's try to get at least one more of these in today. Let's take that off. And this is from 1.5, so that's nice. So that means we're kind of building this up. So Ruth Bader Ginsburg, before I start this, I'm going to show you my GAC, okay? Here's the thing. If you this is what a lot of people don't understand. And I had this conversation with somebody yesterday. If you're investing considerable resources into GAC to win 60 or 70%, you are not getting an ROI. You're doing it for competitive edge. Those extra couple of crystals you don't win out when it comes to like how much you're making versus how much you're spending. And when I say spending, I don't mean money. I mean crystals versus and resources. Okay, so I'm gonna pull up my GG, and I literally do not. I put no effort into GAC. I throw all of my GLs on defense. I just do what I can do. Right? So I just do what I can do. Egnards, GAC. This is me literally putting in zero effort. Like literally zero effort. If I put in a little bit more, if I put in active effort without spending any more resources, those numbers would be even higher. Right? This is me putting every GL on defense and saying, whatever, I'll figure it out. If I were actively playing GAC, those numbers would be in the 60 to 65 range, maybe the 70 range, having put no other resources into it, putting JML to R9, putting whatever into whatever else. This is literally clearing people as best I can with no GL at my disposal. Right? And now I'm in K3 now instead of K2. I lose 100 crystals on a loss, on a win. I don't fucking care. Like those crystals, when I have to spend crystals in order to build my teams up, it doesn't make out. Now, some people are more competitive. Some people are more, they want to put that effort in. And that's totally fine. If you want to put extreme effort into GIC, JML is a great option to R9. And I've said that before, and I've admitted that before. But for the majority of people, I do not think it's actually worth it. Snorquest, my one thing when it comes to mismatches is that the new system is functionally so much better than the old system, but the problem with the new system is it does not take into account players who drop on purpose. It does not take into account players who leave GAC for months at a time and then come back. And that's a problem. What I do think needs to happen is there needs to be a hidden activity score metric that is part of matchmaking so that players who are not active in GAC are paired up with other players who are not active in GAC so that you'll see much less mismatches, so that when players come back and they have 0 activity points, they're paired up with other players who are coming back. And then you'll see much less of those, hey, I haven't played GAC in 6 months, now I'm coming back with my 12 million account, and I'm fighting a 4 million account. Because I know players in my guild who would rather spend $100 on a vault than play GAC at all. Because of their time. They prefer having their time. And I don't find GAC interesting. I don't find it fun. I think it's, when you play it at an active level, it's just the same teams against the same teams, the same walls against the same walls. Everybody wants to be super, like, competitive. So you just see exactly the same thing. And it's actually why I like threes better. Because threes, you sometimes see weird compositions. And you see people trying new things. And as much as it's annoying because your synergies are off, I prefer it for that reason, that I find it's just a little bit more interesting to play. All right, back to this guy. What is our timestamp? We're at basically exactly 2 hours. Look at that. I deleted my old account like 6 years ago because it was quite sad about game itself. I just returned to the game like 5 weeks ago, played 10 days, and then because I got some spare money, I bought the Hyperdrive bundle, both Revens, Cat, LSB, C, both LSBs, Watt LSB, Beskar Mando LSB, Geo LSB, and Trey LSB. All those was bought because I wanted to get close to my old 6 million account. What's the top of your level? We are never serve an early fleet arena with executors mostly, but I'm able to do top 1, but with bad luck, top 5. Are you coordinating? Not yet. I definitely, again, right, little video. It's a 4-minute video. It's very quick, very easy to watch. Start coordinating. It makes your life easier, especially as people start to increase their stuff. I'm just trying to finish C. I bought the packs together with Farming Executor. You dead set because I really like to continue my Executor farm. I'm open to suggestions. How highly do you value efficiency? I'm just between trying to do efficiency farm with sometimes I just try to get some of my loved characters. Okay, like Kyle Katarn. Love Kyle Katarn. He's like one of my favorite Star Wars characters. So like fuck yes on that. Here's the deal. You are, even though your account is at a higher level now, you are at a much lower area of the game. And it's not really my area of expertise. There is this great... I love this guy, Darth Loquitur. He is so good at the early game. And he's so friendly. He's so nice. I popped into one of his streams once because someone said that he was playing against me and I didn't realize. And it wasn't me. It was a guy called Egnard. But I popped in and I just decided to listen to him for like a half hour. And he's just the nicest, most friendly, most positive person I have ever seen stream this game. It blew me away, and he's so great at the early game. I definitely recommend hitting up his Discord, trying to talk to him, looking at his guides for the early game. What I can do is give you more generalized advice. Because you have bought so many Lightspeed bundles, you are in an extreme Zeta crunch that you will quite literally never get out of. And you are going to be feeling that crunch for so long. It is beyond important that you build up your Zeta income. So if we go back to your Discord message, you may have done this in the last week, right? Rebel Roundup at CT0, Military Might at CT0. Secrets and Shadows we'll take a look at. This one's just a little bit harder. So if we can't get this easy, hold off on it. But we really want to focus on getting Military Might and Rebel Roundup at least to CT1 to give you more Zetas per month, right? And that's going to be really important for you. I strongly, strongly recommend pushing towards Executor so that when your fleet starts doing it, you won't be screwed over. You really will not need to get it past 5 stars, especially if your fleet arena is a little slower than you. You might not even need to get it past 4 stars, to be honest, because your fleet arena is so new. Let's see, though. This has been a week. Yeah, you've got some time before you have this. It doesn't seem like it's a super priority, but I would definitely be working on that. So we're going to concentrate on, let's see, Rebel Roundup. Veer Stark Piet. Now, you are not going to have very good mods. Right? You're not going to have very good mods here to work with. So it may be hard to do this. But if you get Range Trooper to like G10, G11, and you get Snow Trooper to about the same, you might need to invest 1 or 2 Zetas into, I think, Emperor's Trap. Let me see what the Zeta is on Emperor's Trap. Is this the new part of it? 6% offense. You might need this Zeta. And then I think it is it Stark that has... Let me look at bounty hunters before I make this recommendation. Snorquest, I see your question. I'm going to answer it in a minute. Bosk. You, honestly, maybe this will work out better for you. Because CT1 of Rebel Roundup is not the hardest thing in the world. And you're going to want to bring Bosk up to R5 anyway, at least for your Executor. Dengar might be a little bit later with P1. But with the Mandalorian and Grief and Bosk at R5, and then I believe it's Cad Bane's ship you're going to want, and Boba, you're going to want those both at R5 at least, right? That 5 should be able to get you Rebel Roundup at CT1. While he has Taunt, you might want this Zeta on Bosk. You're going to want them for speed anyway, but like they're not totally necessary. That was transition on the hunt. Do I keep clicking on the same one? Oh, it's because they're both. I see. You might not need on the hunt right away. You probably are going to want to have this for the taunt, to keep the taunt up during that battle. But those 5, Boss, the Mandalorian, Grief, Cad Bane, Boba Fett, should be able to get your CT1 on Rebel Roundup. Our Rebels are going to be a little bit tougher. You know, you can work towards a lower end CLS squad with like Commander Luke Skywalker, who you don't yet have unlocked. Chewbacca, who you're still working on your bounty hunters for that, but because you went newer bounty hunters, you shouldn't have too much trouble with Chewbacca. Han Solo. C-3PO, you'll have to work on those Ewoks a little bit. I recommend getting Nessa and Wicket, because the Wicket event will also give you Zetas. We'll talk about that in a second, to get C-3PO. And then you can work on Chew-PO, who will make it so much easier. But honestly, R2-D2 will be able to get you the CT1. I was doing CT2 before Chew-PO came out, with no relics on the team except a relic to R2-D2. Right? So we kind of want to focus on getting that military might to CT1 as well. And then what I kind of alluded to here, you don't have Wicket yet. But once Wicket, and let's just check Mother Talzin. So once Wicket and Mother Talzin get to 7 stars, you can do their bonus event. And both of their bonus events give Zetas. So I would definitely be trying to get those done quickly as well to increase your Zeta income even more. Would getting into a TW focused guild help this person with the Zeta deficit? I mean, yes, but I think the problem is I'm going to look at the tiers here. Let's see. Because I don't think he's going to get into one that's crazy, crazy high. What's your guild at now? Your guild is at... Oh, you're actually in an insanely high guild for where you're at. Like, holy shit, 497. So, I mean, you're getting 2 Zetas regardless. So, you're pretty good on... You're pretty good on your Zetas from TW. If you get into a very competitive TW guild, you'll get 1 more, but they're also going to ask you to do TW farms, and you're not really in a position to be doing that right now. So I wouldn't say that that is a super important thing for you right now. I think you're in a great guild for where you're at, and that's awesome. But again, that's just general advice for you. If you want more targeted advice, I really do think Darth Locator is a great resource for the early game. And he's who said it, was it Nee, the Star Wars uncle you got? Second that recommendation. He's so nice. He did a video for the Gungis too, and I haven't watched it yet, but he gave me like a video with like music that he recorded and did, and it's his own, and he did one without, and gave me options. He's just so friendly. I think he will be able to give you more targeted advice. I just think that you need to get Executor and really focus on getting that Rebel Roundup and Military Might just to CT1, so you're building up your backlog. And don't be afraid to spend 1 or 2 Zetas per event, because both of those teams will help you in other aspects of the game. And the ROI, with it coming out every month, 1 Zeta, after getting that 1 Zeta 5, it'll take you 10 months. That's not a long time in this game. Let's see, for this one, Night Sisters. Yeah, don't focus too heavily on your Night Sisters, but you might have to bring them to 7 stars to do the Mother Talzin event. But worry about that when you get there. Oh, and you have Rex at 7 stars. I would also just really hope that the Rebel Lightspeed bundle comes back around, because then all of these guys except Rex, who you have at 7 stars already, will be relicked, and then you should be able to do Secrets and Shadows at CT1. But I do think that you need to worry, because you are going to be in that Zeta crunch for so long, like literally forever, and it's just going to be so important for you to be getting as many free Zetas a month as you absolutely possibly can, right? So that's just something to keep in mind. Before we end for today, oh my goodness, I gotta yawn. Once again, just as a reminder, we set this up on Discord, and then we'll raid out to someone. We'll see who's playing right now, but we are doing a charity sponsorship for LA Relief, and you can read it in my Egg Game Whore channel. I did a similar sponsorship for Rabid Beaver to help him out last week, to help him buy his new computer. And I did all of these goals in 4 days of playing a game, like an hour to 2 hours a day. And literally all that money will be going to charities to help out. And you can kind of read all of that stuff here and here about exactly how we're doing this. So if you got time, you just got to click on this link right there to download the game. It's all going to charity. So we know a couple of people personally who have had their houses completely obliterated in the Star Wars Galaxy Heroes community, and I wanted to help out with that in the way that I felt that I could help out with that. So if you got a couple hours and you're watching a lot of TV today, and you got nothing to do, that's one thing that you can do to kind of help out a little bit. Let's see, is anyone streaming right now? Nobody that I follow is. Interesting. Where are my guys at? People searching. Star Wars stream. He's not streaming this. Man, there's nobody streaming the game right now. Except for me. So we got nobody to raid out to. Oh, wait. No, these are past streams. Never mind. Well, that's sad and unfortunate. With that said, Broncos country. Vote for the Broncos. Root for them today. I'll see you guys next week. I'll probably have to do my charity sponsored stream tonight at some point. But have a great